All right, so in this video, no edits, no fancy camera angles. I'm going to walk you through my 1.5 million a year profit business, in which every hour I work gives me about $2,000 an hour in take-home income. And so I'm not going to hype this up. I'm literally going to walk you through the numbers. I'm going to talk through my offers, exactly what they look like, how many clients in each. I'm going to talk about how I get clients. I'm going to talk about my team. And then I'm going to walk you through the future plans. I've always appreciated when my favorite creators, the coaches I look up to, do this. So I wanted to do the same for you. So let's look at it. Let's go back to the start of this year. We're ending in 2023. I've been in the game for 5.5 years around this point. Earlier this year, everything felt wrong. In 2021, I had a team of 13 people. We did 2 million cash collected that year. 2022, I did 2 million cash collected, but surprise, I went from 13 team members to 4, which was crazy. So I was on the right path of simplicity, finding a model that I enjoyed. But at the start of this year, I still didn't really love the business I was in. And so at the start of this year, I made the hard decision to fire all the team members, and it was just me and an amazing virtual assistant called Midia. Shout out Midia. And at that point, I killed the program that I had, and I just went full one-to-one coaching. And so I basically killed all my revenue, and I took the clients that I had, the handful of clients I had left, and I was like, guys, I'm not doing this program anymore. I'm going to move everyone to one-to-one. And I didn't realize, but that was going to crush, and it was amazing. I scaled that to $95,000 a month in profit because I was almost 100% profit at that point. I think it was like 97% because I had a virtual assistant I was paying for, no ads, very little software. And I got to $95,000 a month in profit with 30 clients doing one-to-one. The crazy thing is all this year, my work hours have been very, very low. I scaled to $95,000 in profit with 8 hours of calls a week, and I was selling 100% in the DMs, which I still do to this day. I got to that point, and I either could scale beyond that by getting more one-to-one clients, which I wasn't interested in, or raising my prices dramatically, which I also wasn't super interested in. So here are the things I've done over the last few months to get to $145,000 in recurring revenue at 89% profit, because my expenses are currently $14K a month that I'll walk you through as well. So this is exactly what I did over these last few months to kind of get to this 1.5 million a year in profit. I'm about 60 to 90 days away from hitting 2 million a year in profit. So after I had the one-to-one mentorship, which I still have, that one-to-one offer, which I have about 20 clients in now, I used to have 30, I've got 20, is I launched a community offer that had no one-to-one with me whatsoever and was half the price. So I launched it, I think around that time, my one-to-one was about $3,000 a month. I think it's around that now. I think it's like $3,300, $3,500, something like that. I then launched something at $300 a week. It's now $350 a week, and it's a year-long commitment, and it had content, 3 in-person events a year, and 1 community call with me a week. And this is crushed. I mean, churn on this has been almost non-existent. I think I've lost 3 clients with that, and 2 of them were in the first 2 weeks, and they were just bad fits that I shouldn't have let in the first place. So this offer is crushed, and I currently have 45 people in that paying me $1,500 a month, and this is purely a scalable offer. My goal is to take that over the next year to 100 people and then to cap it, to have no more in that. As I mentioned, I've got 20 clients a month paying me $3,300 a month, and that's one-to-one. And either people are getting 2 30-minute calls with me a month, or they choose to be in Slack with me with no calls. And so that's actually split 50-50. And I've been so pleasantly surprised how scalable that's made mentorship. To be honest, if I was working closely with people and that was the only offer I had, I think I could scale that to 50 people if I had 25 people on calls and 25 people on Slack. And it's really just different personalities and people wanting different things as to whether they choose calls or Slack. But it's been amazing, and I've really, really enjoyed doing that. And I get to work with really high-level people. It's been incredible. And then now I have 5 clients between $10,000 and $12,000 a month. Now that might sound like a crazy amount. I remember a few months ago, I made the mistake of talking about this in an Instagram video that I then boosted because I was testing an ad strategy for clients, and the comments were like, BS, there's no way people are stupid enough to pay $10,000 a month. But the reality is there's 5 people who are stupid enough to pay me $10,000 a month. But these are not like lower level people. These are not people that are at 6 figures. If I roll through without naming names, I have a YouTuber with 2.2 million subscribers I have someone who exited their company for 250 million, and then they've brought me on to help them like launch their next book. With the first one was a New York Times bestseller, so it's an amazing part of that. I have a musician with billions of streams on Spotify. Literally, the top music video on YouTube is 1.7 billion. So I'm launching their kind of podcast and personal brand and things like that. I have one client that's just wanting really high levels of attention from me and kind of partnering with me. And then I have someone who's at multiple seven figures in profit a month, and they kind of do really high level like NDA type private mentorship with people. NDA is like non-disclosure agreement, secretive. They're working with celebrities and athletes and things like that. And so I'm helping that range of people. I'm only sharing that for the context of that's really where a lot of my business is going to be going. And I'll kind of talk about that shortly. But that makes up the kind of how Dan makes money piece. Now let's talk about how we get those clients. If I start backwards, the higher level people don't come through funnels, right? I mean, one of them did, but the other four are like referrals, networks. I met at an event. People who are going to pay you $120,000 a year just for consulting aren't necessarily downloading a lead magnet. Now, again, I'm not talking in absolutes. I'm talking in kind of general rules. I haven't found the people that have paid me. I had one client that had paid me $300,000 last year. That person didn't come through my Facebook profile funnel, right? That was a connection. I made an event, we built a relationship, and so on and so forth. So that's how that works. Is I don't know how to replicate that at scale. It's just naturally happening, and I'm very grateful it is. Mentorship and the scalable model, so the community where people are paying $18,000 a year, and the mentorship where people are paying $36,000 a year, so double. That's all coming through a combination of Facebook and YouTube. So in fact, it's coming through Facebook and it's nurtured by YouTube. So I'll walk you through that. So Facebook is what I call my community funnel. When we work with clients, we teach them to have one platform that is their community funnel. This is the thing that you are actively trying to grow. You're posting content, both short, medium, long. So if you think about Facebook, short, stories, medium, posts on your newsfeed, and then long, you can either do longer videos like this, either posted natively on Facebook or you link over to your YouTube. Now, I introduced YouTube about 5 months ago in my business. I credit it for all of the growth I've had this year. It is crazy the ability for people to binge your content on a platform like YouTube. So I close all of my deals with no sales calls, right? So I've made over $1 million in new sales this year with no sales calls whatsoever. And it's because the role that YouTube plays in my overall client acquisition strategy. What will happen is either people will come to me and they know a little bit about me, and I don't give them any details of my offer. I just say, hey, go and watch these videos. If they resonate, come back to me and we can kind of talk about working together. But I know if I was to send them the details on the offer, they just don't know me enough to be willing to hand over 18 grand, right? And then the other side of it, people come to me and they're like, dude, I've binged every video. I just watched 10 hours yesterday. Like, how do I work with you? And I'm like, fantastic. And I send them the details and the rest is history. But having this combination of Facebook and YouTube, and right now I run no ads. And 2 years ago, I ran a lot of ads. So I have some people on my email list from that and some people on my Facebook from that. But the majority is just organic. So pairing it up with this content ecosystem where there's short, medium, long, short and medium content really helps with growth and awareness and becoming known and getting people to raise their hands and step into your world. And long form content really develops that sense of connection. It takes people who are unlikely to work with you, that are like 2 out of 10 in terms of their willingness to kind of hand over money, and warms them up to 8, 9, 10 out of 10. And this is, if it sounds simple, this is it, but this is how I get clients, right? I literally add people on Facebook. I don't really do that now, but I used to. That's how I built up the kind of 7,000 followers I have. I post content, stories, newsfeed, and long form, and then I move people to YouTube. And YouTube right now, if you're looking at this, whenever you're looking at this, I have like 1,400 subscribers. It's not big. But those 1,400 people are all connected with me on Facebook, or most of them are, and that's what's causing that nurturing effect where people are connected with me and seeing all my content on Facebook. They're seeing my stories, they're replying to my stories, they're interacting. I'm able to send them messages, they're able to send me messages, and then they're coming here to YouTube to be nurtured, to dive deeper into my content, to binge it, which is ultimately what's making client acquisition so simple. And this might be hard to believe, but I just have 0% business stress. I had someone message me yesterday. They're like, hey, dude, I think I have like 10 tips that I can give you to book more calls from your YouTube to get more clients. And I just replied back. I was like, thank you so much for the offer. I'm getting all the clients I need right now for YouTube. For my business. And he was like, I don't understand. Like, everyone wants to grow. And I was like, well, I am growing, and I'm growing at a pace that I'm really happy with. In the last 2 weeks, I've added like $40,000 a month in recurring revenue. Like, I'm feeling fine and dandy. I have no business stress. But the reason is because I'm prioritizing content marketing. And I can't tell you what a big mistake or what a regret I have around not taking this seriously sooner. When I first got started in business in April 2018, I said to myself, I'm starting a YouTube channel and I'm starting a podcast. And then I ignored that intuitive sense, and instead I just followed all the mentors that were telling me to build funnels and run ads, and I did that, and I ignored it for the next 5 years. Earlier this year, when I finally got started creating content in a very intentional way, my business went like this. It has been amazing, and that is what's brought so much ease into getting clients and scaling, where I literally do not worry where my next client is coming from. I have no stress and no worries because everything is high recurring revenue, high profit. So let's talk about this profit, and let's talk about expenses. Right now, I have 2 team members. I have a full-time virtual assistant, and I have a full-time content manager. So he helps me kind of shoot content. He does a little bit of the editing, and he helps with distribution. And then my other expense that makes up that $14,000 is an agency that repurposes content like this, although this video was not edited by them. No editing. Right? And they do reels and things like that. And then we redistribute all of that content. So I'm posting 90 something times across all the platforms right now. But what's crazy is I shoot 1 video like this a week typically. We record 2 to 3 coaching calls that make up the other YouTube videos. And then we take clips from those videos and we redistribute them across TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, Threads. I don't know if anyone's on Threads, but we're doing that. And so that's what makes up the 90 pieces of content. So all of the people in my world feel like I'm omnipresent. I'm everywhere. And it's because I hired a content manager and have an agency who help make that happen with very little stress and effort from me. I do 2 to 3 hours of content, which includes the shooting and the reviewing every week. So that's the expenses. And then I have stuff like Stripe payment processing. I have a ClickFunnels account. I don't even know why I have it. I don't really use it. I have Notion. I have Slack. I have a few things in and around, but everything is really simple, lean, and mean. And so this is the business I have. And if you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them in the comments below. I want to talk about where I'm going from here. So I'm knocking on 2 million a year profit's door, is what I was trying to say. And I'm really confident I'm going to get there in the next quarter, which is exciting. It's insane. Honestly, even saying that makes me just so humbled and blown away with kind of where the business is, especially considering 5 years ago, I was making $13 an hour as a youth pastor. And while I loved being a youth pastor, I hated being broke. And so not being broke now is crazy, phenomenal. I'm insanely grateful for it. But where I want to go from here is, I want to make more profit and I want to scale my revenue because I really love being able to do amazing things with money. We just bought a house. We are also able to be incredibly generous to different people, flying them over, and we're able to help right now some friends in Israel and things like that. It's incredible. So I do want to scale the business from a monetary standpoint, but I really want to focus on 2 things. The first is I want to scale our content. So we're looking right now at either getting a house or just building a studio where I can really take content to the next level. And so we're going to be hiring 4 in-house video editors and copywriters and thumbnails. So long form editor, short form editor, copywriter, and a thumbnail editor. And this will probably be the start of our content Avengers. We are going to really step this up, both in the quality of the stuff that I'm trying to create. Because right now, I didn't mention this, but I should have. I'm only working about 15 hours a week, which is crazy. And so I want to ramp up my hours a bit by probably another day a week, but I'm just going to spend more time creating valuable content for clients and for marketing. I want my marketing to be actually valuable, where people get real help for free. And so we're going to build out a team to help me do that better, faster, at a higher quality and a higher output. Go to 90 pieces of content a week to 150 pieces of content a week, and so on and so forth. Second thing I'm really focused on is working with higher level people. This includes people like I'm working with a freaking actual celebrity right now, which is amazing. And so working with more people like that at that level is an insanely cool opportunity that I want to pursue and explore more of. But also I am going to be exploring partnerships and revenue shares and things like that. Right now, I'm in the midst of negotiations with 2 agencies that I'm going to be partnering with for a percentage of their business, percentage of revenue, and actually build that up to a place of sale. So not only do I get cash flow in the short term, I get potential equity and sale in the long term. And so these are the types of things that I'm really exploring. And the reason I'm bringing it up is because so many of us get stuck in the same business at the same level because we refuse to evolve. And I'm not looking to evolve and change things up every 5 seconds. I think if anything, people might do that too often, but I'm really looking to like evolve into that next level. Like I don't want to be 10 years from now, 43, just selling courses and doing coaching calls and teaching people how to send messages on Facebook. Like that's not what I want to do. I love that I'm doing it now. I do not want to do it forever. I want to continue to evolve into a new level. And the next level is like partnership and equity deals. And I think that will confidently take me to 3 million a year in profit over the next year. So that's an insight into what's going on for me right now. Again, this is raw, real, unedited. The only notes I have right now is like a Facebook post where I shared some of these details. And so that was the only thing I had in front of me for reference. But I hope this was helpful. I'm more than happy to answer any questions that you have. And if you want to get a really big insight into any of the stuff that I've talked about on like a nitty-gritty level of what I post, where I post it, what the offers look like, you can click the link in the description below and it will give you like a 25-minute training and a crash course on exactly how I do that. If you haven't already, like this video, subscribe, comment if you've got a question, and I'll see you in another video.